Have you ever ordered way too much food at a buffet and then regretted every single bite by the end? That is basically what happens when a private chef says yes to 5 events on the same Saturday. You would think more bookings means more money, and sure, for about 5 minutes that is true, but then reality shows up like an uninvited guest, because one chef only has one set of hands, one stove, and one brain that needs sleep sometimes. Here's the thing nobody tells you when you start hiring out a home kitchen for events. Capacity is not just about how many burners you have, it is about how much focus a human being can actually give before things start slipping. Picture a caterer juggling 3 dinner parties in one weekend, each one needing different menus, different allergies, and different fussy guests. Even with a checklist longer than a CVS receipt, something always gets missed, like forgetting the gluten-free guest exists until they are already standing in the kitchen. This is where burnout sneaks in, and it is sneaky like a ninja in soft pajamas. It does not announce itself, it just slowly turns a chef who used to love cooking into someone who flinches when their phone buzzes with a new booking request. Mistakes start small at first, kind of like a typo in a text. Maybe the salt gets doubled, or maybe the chicken goes in the oven 20 minutes late, and suddenly the whole timeline for a 3-course meal collapses like a sad souffle. You might be wondering why a chef would not just say no to extra work. Turns out saying no feels scary when you are running a small business, because every missed booking feels like missed rent money. So instead, a lot of home chefs overpromise, thinking they can power through on caffeine and pure willpower. Spoiler alert, willpower is not a seasoning, and it definitely does not replace sleep or prep time. Here is a fun fact that surprises people. Studies on workplace fatigue have shown for decades that tired brains make way more errors, which means an exhausted chef is basically cooking with one hand tied behind their back. Think about an assembly line at a factory, where every station has a job and a pace. A solo private chef trying to do 5 events alone is like one person trying to run that entire assembly line by themselves, while also being the inspector and the delivery truck. This is why smart caterers learn to build in buffer time, almost like adding extra minutes to a microwave timer just in case. It is not about being lazy, it is about leaving room for the unexpected, like a blender that decides today is the day it stops working. Community matters here too, because chefs who network with other chefs can hand off events instead of stretching themselves into a pretzel. It is kind of like a relay race where you pass the baton instead of trying to run the entire marathon alone. The chefs who last in this business are not always the most talented ones, they are the ones who learn their own limits early. That sounds simple, but ego is a sneaky thing, and nobody wants to admit they cannot do it all. At the end of the day, oversold capacity is not really about cooking skill. It is about math and self-awareness colliding in a kitchen. A chef who respects their own limits ends up cooking better food for fewer people instead of mediocre food for everyone. So if you are curious how the smart ones actually plan their bookings without losing their minds or their reputation, you want to learn more about how we help connect home chefs and caterers the right way? Check out the links in the description below.